Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we are going to go over some of the news that has been happening in War Thunder the last week or so, obviously with some events such as the enlisted Twitch drops and also the grinding event for War Thunder. It's been a little bit all over the place, so I thought we would use this video to catch up. Also, just as a personal note, I am really unwell right now, so if you do DM me on Discord or you do email me or post comments asking questions, I may not respond for a little bit because I really need to look after myself. There's something wrong with the body and I need to find out what it is. Anyway, let's get into what is going on when it comes to the news. The first piece of news is Cosmonauts Day, which is always celebrated every year when it comes to War Thunder, and this year it has been celebrated between the 12th of April and the 15th of April, and all you have to do is play 3 battles in random battles in any vehicle ranked 3 and above with an activity of 70%, and you will get yourself the special open space decal. So pretty much when it comes to the game, if you are already doing the grinding event, or you're already doing your dailies or specials, or if you're doing the Memorial Date events, you'll probably pick up this decal anyway. But just to let you know, it is available. They're also bringing back 2 of the Cosmonauts Day decorations that you can have. You have the Vostok capsule, the 3D decoration, and also the Cosmonauts helmet. But unfortunately, you can't grind them out. You do have to buy them if you didn't get them before. They are in the item shop right now in the Cosmonauts or the Cosmonautics Day chest, and it costs $4.99 for either of them. The Vostok one is actually a really cool naval one. The Cosmonauts helmet I have, but I haven't really used too much. But the Vostok capsule is super cool, especially on small boats. Also, just a mention to the item shop, and I'll be making probably a video later this week talking about it. They've actually changed the items when it comes to what's in the trophy vehicles, so they've switched them over. Now you have the A2D1, the Super Hellcat, the Ju-288C, the M47 for Germany, the Rosomacha, and then also the T-34-100, the Hornet Mark I, the Kisarazu, and the STRV-81RB52. So, if you want access to any of these, you can get access to them through the boxes. Now, I did do a video on these boxes before. They aren't worth the money at all. So yeah, that is a bit of an issue. But just to let you know that they do exist now and are different to the previous ones. There was also some updates to some of the April Fool stuff, starting on the 6th for the server update, where basically for the April's chest, in addition to the vehicle coupons from previous April events that can currently be won from the box, the same vehicles can now drop not as coupons, but will be automatically applied to your account. Vehicle coupons will continue to drop alongside this. This increases the chance to get a vehicle without devaluing any currently held coupons. If a player gets a vehicle that they own already, they receive a million SL instead. So basically they've increased at least the type of the type of things you can get. You don't just necessarily get coupons, you can also get the vehicles themselves. This doesn't mean that they've increased the drop rate of them, it just means that they may have just changed how many of each are available. And it has really been well, it hasn't been surprising to me because I never nowadays get surprised by RNG events when it comes to these things, but anybody who thought that these things would be anywhere useful or any high probability for anything useful is brainless. The general thing when it comes to these chests, especially since they're SL chests, they were never going to have high probabilities for anything good. They were going to always be 0.00000x% of, what's going on. Because if there were anything higher, people would dump ridiculous amounts of money into them to be able to get profit through the gadget market. By the way, if you are interested in a bunch of box openings, there is a streamer called Fanatical Freeman. He's going to be doing over 2,000 boxes opening on, I believe it's tomorrow, from this day. So make sure to check that out if you are interested to see if there is anything that is interesting that drops. Highly doubt it, but there might be one out of a million. Also, the coupon drop counters are split into item categories. You've got the coupon for vehicle, coupon for camo, coupon for decoration, and the hat trophy. And that allows instant drop on an item in each category after opening the required number of chests instead of a random item in a random category, which is good. And then also battle trophies with boosters, wages, and orders now open in separate items, both in the April's chest content list and in the chest spinner. And also it is necessary to restart the game for correct chest description and opening the chest. So that's how it works. You know, it seems like to me they're really trying to test some kind of weird RNG system for SL, and to be honest with you, I'm not particularly happy with it. Generally, when it comes to RNG, I'm against it. It's why I don't like these crafting events. It is, you know, one of the things where if something is not guaranteed out of a setup, it generally means that it's against you. You know, as always, the house always wins. You know, when it comes to this stuff, which is a real issue. And then also at the same time, when it comes to these chests, if these are used a lot by people, first of all, it just means that we're going to get a lot more of them for different events. They might be more incorporated into the game, and also at the same time, it means that everybody who dumped a ton of SL on them now will get kind of screwed in the future. It also is kind of interesting to see that with the chests, we are no longer once again talking about having SL issues because a bunch of the guys who have basically come out the woodwork and have been around for a very long time, like myself, are just sat on ridiculous amounts of SL and have been for a long time. Like, I don't take any measures apart from turning off auto repair to reduce the amount of SL that I have. And, you know, if I'd bought everything half off and if I'd done it that way, I would easily have over probably about 200 million at the moment. But generally, I know people who have over 1 billion SL in the game. And it is completely crazy, you know, to me that exists. But also at the same time, you know, people are going to need stuff to sync their SL balances into. I personally thought it would be nice to use it to maybe upgrade the hanger in certain ways and stuff like that. If we're just going to do it into loot boxes, that's very much a shame, in my opinion. They also did some bug fixes for update 2.15.1.35, starting with some aircraft stuff. So the MiG-23 MLA, a bug has been fixed that resulted in flares, chaff flying in front of the aircraft, so it would basically fire it forwards, which is obviously not very useful if you're trying to dodge a missile and it's coming from behind you. Then throwing the stuff out in front of you is not going to be very helpful. So I'm glad that they fixed that. That's a good fix. The M197 gun, the overheating time has been reduced on it, so that means that it's going to be more usable in general. And overall, I think there's a few guns in game that really feel like they generally do overheat pretty quickly, but at least for this one, the AH-1, now that it's fixed, I don't know how useful it's going to be, but at least it'll be a little bit more useful than it was before. The F-84F, all the versions, a bug has been fixed on it that allowed using the weapon selector to fire the upper row of the HVAR rockets before the lower, which is a very odd bug, but once again, nice to see it fixed. They're also attaching the reports to these bugs, so you can see how your reports do matter. They've also got a new site for putting in bug reports, and it's absolutely hilarious, and I might do some dramatic readings from it. The Nesha, a bug has been fixed where in some weapon setups, the Mark 82 bombs might be visually detached from the pylons. This is actually a bug that has been around for a long time. It seems to affect different vehicles as it goes around, even getting to a point where certain ordnance options shake from their hardpoints, which looks really interesting. And then the ground vehicles, the LC BIS, a bug that created additional missing camouflages, has been fixed, which is great. I really wish they'd give scouting to the LC BIS. I think I'm really looking forward to playing that vehicle once I, get back into the rhythm of playing the Israelis and then the French. But it kind of sucks that the vehicle itself doesn't have scouting on it, because it is limited in quite a few areas. The ZTZ-88A as well, a bug has been fixed that prevented obtaining some of the additional camouflages for completing tasks, so the similar bug to the ELC bit. There was also another server update on the 11th, and they changed a few things about the PvE helicopter battles. So the BR ranges have been changed from 7.7 to 9.3 and 9.7 plus to 7.7 to 9.0 and 9.3 plus. So I'm guessing the 9.3s were a little bit too aggressive when it came to the lower brackets. So luckily that's going. Nice to see that people are hopefully enjoying the PvE mode. It seems like a mode to really just kind of relax in and not bother about anything and just fly around the helicopters. The calculation period for useful actions has been changed from 15 to 10 minutes, so that means you should get more activity and therefore more RP. Activity counters, rewards for useful actions, and RP reward at the end of the session have been adjusted and split into BR ranges. So once again, this should mean that you have more defined, I suppose, RP boundaries. One of the things to also note is I've seen a lot of people critiquing the amount of RP that you get out of the mode, and just like with SL income, the amount of RP and SL that you get is secondary to the enjoyment that you get out of the mode. So I feel like what should be focused on first is the mode actually fun to play? Where I'm seeing a lot of people instead focus on the rewards of the mode instead of is it fun to play? Because if it isn't fun to play and the only reason you're doing it is to try and grind through the game, then it's going to be very hard to actually play it for many hours and be able to get to the level that you are. So I hope that the team behind helicopter battles is focusing more on that instead of the economical side of things. Because if the biggest issue with the mode is the economical side of things, then it's probably doing pretty well. And that can be easily adjusted when needed. The MI-24A, the battle rating in arcade battles, has been changed from 9.0 to 9.3, so basically following what has happened in other modes. It's kind of weird how it didn't go up in arcade, but I'm glad that it has now. And also, at the same time, there should be some upcoming news about some other things. Just to give you a bit of an update where I am on the Bass of Arrakis event. Obviously, I had to do the enlisted Twitch drop stuff last week, so this week we're fully focusing on the Bass of Arrakis. I'm only at like 80 boxes, so I'm miles behind. I don't think I'll be able to complete the event, but I'm going to grind as much as I can just to see where I can get to. Hopefully the event is treating you guys well, and hopefully you are feeling better than I am right now. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Merciless Reaper, Jerry Provolt, Megadino King, Professor X1718, Orange Tail, Sakoshi Tiger, Teddy, John Ryman, Universe, Eugens Terry, Ambrosius McClellan, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, Moxie, B. Young, and Derek R., Bareen, Lafouche, and Samuel Slick for supporting the channel.